Welcome to the Josh Raznick podcast, and I am your host, Josh. Today we have a special guest, the one and only all-pro punter, Detroit Lions, Jack Fox. Okay, Jack, so you really can do it all. In high school, you were a quarterback, and yes, I bet most people are thinking that you were just some average quarterback. But instead, you were nearly throwing for 2,000 yards and 18 touchdowns. You were named first-team All-State as a punter and second-team All-State kicker. Can you share some epic, crazy moments that happened in your high school games?
Oh, thanks for having me, Josh. That was a heck of a introduction. So you said I wasn't an average quarterback. Unfortunately, I was a pretty average high school quarterback.
I think you were pretty good.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you reading off my stats and everything. I think something that people probably don't know, I don't know how they would know, is I actually played 2 years at JV in high school. Which a lot of people would probably look down upon. Like a lot of kids in high school would be like, man, I don't want to play a second year JV.
Yeah, that's crazy because now where you're at, that's a big difference.
Yeah. The truth is there's a kid in the class above me, one of my buddies, who played quarterback, and he was a varsity quarterback for 3 years. He was really good. And I knew he was better than me in high school when I was a junior, and I just played at JV as a sophomore. I love football. I love playing on JV. And when the coach came up to me at the beginning of my junior year and asked me if I'd play another year at JV, I was a little bit upset about it. And then I thought about it, and I ended up doing it, mostly just because it would get me out of a day of practice or watching film or whatever, and I could play an extra game during the week. But it ended up being a super good experience for me. Yeah, so I got more experience playing quarterback. And then I had a lot of fun playing football. And I played with all these guys that I was friends with from maybe the class below me, or a couple of my buddies from my class. And we ended up all playing together on varsity the next year, and we played really well. We ended up doing better than the class before us, and we made it really far in the playoffs, and it was just a really rewarding experience.
So in high school, how many positions did you play?
In high school, I played quarterback and punter and kicker.
So this year, Jack, the Lions had an amazing season. Week 1, Lions vs. Chiefs, playing on a Thursday night to open the NFL season at Arrowhead Stadium with a win. Did you feel pressure?
Yeah, in the first game of the year.
Yeah, did you feel pressure?
Yeah, I definitely felt pressure. That was probably one of the most nervous I've been playing football. Just because the first game of the year, you're always nervous. It's always
the year before they won the Super Bowl. So.
Yeah, and they won the Super Bowl, and it was the first game of the year on national TV. I knew a lot of people were going to be watching.
Yeah.
And I was nervous.
To open up the season, you had a pretty far punt, 70 yards.
Yeah, it worked out. Sometimes you do better when you're nervous. It's something I've realized, the more I've played football is, if you can kind of control your nerves and the anxiety that comes with a big situation, sometimes that makes you play better.
Yeah. So then week 6, this was my first ever Lions away game. And at the time, the Bucs were 3-1 and you guys were 4-1. This was the moment that Detroit fans knew you guys were the real deal. When did you know that you guys were the real deal, and how'd you know?
It's a good question. I think maybe from last season we won, I don't know how many, a lot of our last games. We started off 1-6 and ended up 9-8. And when we went to Green Bay in the last game of the year and we beat the Packers in Green Bay, they had a shot to make the playoffs. We were already eliminated by then, and we still went in there and beat a good team on the road. I had a good idea that we were the real deal, and it was cool to see us kind of, I don't know, keep that momentum going the next year.
Yeah. Then week 11, Packers versus Lions, the Thanksgiving game. Packers came into this game ready, and they wanted revenge from earlier this season and last year too. So you guys were on a winning streak against them. Which they did get back, but after that game, do you think it helped you guys prepare for much more future games like the playoffs?
Yeah, I think anytime you lose, it's kind of, especially when a good team loses, it's kind of like a wake-up call. If we don't play our best, this is still the NFL. Anybody can win any game, so it's a wake-up call. When you don't play your best, you can still lose. So it kind of makes you strive to play your best every week.
Yeah. Then in the playoffs, first game you played the Rams. Was this the most excited you've been for a game ever?
Yeah. I think maybe I've never thought of it like that.
I think it probably was the most excited I've ever been to.
Wasn't that crowd awesome? I was really excited going into the game, and then when we got on the field and the game started, that's probably when I was the most excited. It was crazy in there. It was so loud.
It was a great fan and game by you guys too.
Yeah.
And then you guys got your first, and also you guys got your first playoff win in almost 30 years. How did you enjoy playing in the playoffs? Are they way more intense, or is it like like just the same as the regular season?
Yeah, it's definitely more intense. Yeah, it's cool. It's just everything that you're doing is going into winning the game. Like there's nobody cares about individual stats or like an individual battle in the game. It's just everything's about winning. And that's like the first time in the NFL that I've experienced obviously the playoffs, and it was really fun, really cool.
So yeah, then you guys played the Bucks, but you played them earlier in the season, and it's always hard to beat a team twice and stuff. Like, and you guys prepared well and won that game. Like, how'd you feel going into the locker room that game and stuff?
Yeah, we were confident, and I like that you said it's hard to beat a good team twice. 'Cause
Yeah,
I always say that. I think that's so true. Like when we lost to the Cowboys later in the season.
that game.
I thought I know, I can't believe we lost to him. It was really disappointing, but that was kind of the silver lining. Like if we have to play these guys again, like they can't beat us twice. It's hard to beat a good team twice. So that was kind of what I was saying after that game. So that's funny you said that. But yeah, we were confident going into the Bucks game, and it was a really good game. They're a good team too.
Like, because earlier in the season you guys played the Packers, beat them once, but then lost the second time. So, like, when I asked that prepared question, do you think that helped you prepared for winning against the Bucks?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'd say so.
And then finally, you played the 49ers in the conference championship. Even though it didn't end up the way we wanted it to, can you explain how that game felt?
Yeah, that was such a fun game. Like, hard to think about. Just it hasn't been very much time, and it's still really frustrating that we lost the game. But, yeah, everything about the game was cool. Like, we got there, and it was 70 degrees outside. It was sunny. There was no wind. It was just a beautiful day to play football. Yeah, we were playing at 3 o'clock. The sun's out. And there's so much pressure on that game, and we came out so hot and playing like a perfect game. And it was just really fun to watch that. And then obviously kind of unraveled at the end and really disappointing, but it was still a cool memory to look back on.
Yeah, there was like a big momentum change. How'd you feel? Because it was an away game, so the fans kind of there was probably more fans, 49ers. How'd you like feel when it started to the fans started to turn around and started to get really crazy?
Yeah, momentum is a weird thing, right? It's like,
Yeah.
it's just like everything that could have gone wrong in like a 15-minute stretch seemed to go wrong, and everything went right for them. I've never felt momentum that strong
Yeah,
in a
it
game
was.
before. So I don't know if it was the fans or what, but
We were
maybe
sitting,
just got
and
unlucky.
fans came right up to us and just like kind of like taunted us and stuff.
Really? Yeah, I heard your dad
Yeah.
almost got in a fight after the game.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And then, do you have any weird routines that you do before games?
No, I really don't. I just kind of go out there, and I like to go out there really early. It's not really weird, but like it's something different that most, I guess, kickers and punters don't do. I go out there really early and kick and punt just because I'm kind of anxious and want to get it out of my system. So I warm up really early.
Now some questions are kind of shorter questions. They're not like about the games and stuff. But
Okay.
are you going to the Super Bowl?
I'm not. No, I'm not.
And then, what's your favorite stadium to play at? It can be in high school, college, or NFL.
Ford Field. Ford Field's my favorite, especially after the playoff games. I'm
Yeah.
not just saying that because I play here. Like, the atmosphere is insane. I love how the stadium's built. It's small. It feels cool. I love it.
Yeah.
Josh,
your-
let me ask you a question.
All right.
What's your favorite stadium you've been to?
I would probably say Ford Field, but if I didn't say Ford Field that I've went to, I could probably Michigan Stadium, the big house.
Yeah.
Because it's like
a good call.
Yeah, the atmosphere is pretty crazy.
Josh,
And then-
who's your favorite athlete you've ever like interacted with?
Steph Curry.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's,
that's a good one.
yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah. We have a poster of it, and he signed it.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you still have his shoes?
I didn't get his shoes.
Did Steph take the kid's shoes? That would truly be no mercy. Let him keep his shoes, but the kid asked for a fair competition, and I beat him fair and square. So I had to sign the poster to make sure he had a souvenir from the Battle Royale and rock, paper, scissors. But I had to make sure I wrote "I won" on the top so he remembered. Maybe it'll motivate him and he'll have a story to tell one day.
You lost in rock, paper, scissors, right?
So He didn't give me them.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I love that he actually followed through on that.
Yeah, I know. He said in like some of his, he had like interviews sometimes and they said it. He said that he wanted to give me a lesson. Here's Kevin
Yeah.
Durant's shoes. I have
Heck yeah,
Kevin
it's a good
Durant's.
lesson.
I'll show you these.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet.
So, what was your favorite team growing up in the NFL?
My favorite team was the St. Louis Rams.
Yeah, and you played them in the first round of the playoffs, even though it's not like their first name. Now it's LA, but
Yeah, Josh, unfortunately, they're not the St. Louis Rams anymore. I have no
Yeah.
affiliation with that team anymore.
who's your favorite singer if you listen to like songs a decent amount?
My favorite singer. So I'm a country music fan.
I like country too.
You like country?
Yeah.
I like Kenny Chesney a lot. Just like driving in the car. Like I think it's pretty like chill and
Yeah.
kind of just relaxing. What's your favorite?
My favorite, I like Morgan Wallen because
That's
I
a
like
good one.
I like Last Night, that song.
Yeah,
and
it's a
then-
good song.
Yeah. Do you listen to music before games? If so, what kind?
I don't listen to a lot of music before the game. They're always playing music in the locker room, so
Yeah,
there's always
that's
music on, but I don't really listen to a lot of it.
Who is your favorite players growing up?
My favorite players growing up. So I'm from St. Louis, so I was always a Mizzou football fan for college football. So I like Chase Daniel and I like Jeremy Maclin at Mizzou. And then, the Rams weren't a great team when I was a kid. When I was really little, they were good with Kurt Warner and those guys. But like when I was really like watching, probably Steven Jackson.
Who would you want to have a one-on-one punting, kicking lesson with if you could have one with anybody?
A one-on-one punting and kicking lesson. It would be AJ Cole, who's the punter on the Raiders.
Yeah.
Who's a buddy of mine, and he's like the most knowledgeable person about kicking and punting technique and everything. If I ever have questions about, like maybe I'm struggling with something or have a question about something, I'll like send him a video and ask him what he thinks. So that's
So
my
he's a
answer.
smart guy.
Yeah, he's smart, very smart.
Who do you think's the funniest player? It can be on the Lions or just in the NFL.
Ooh, funniest player. I think Kirby Joseph's really funny.
Yeah, he's really nice and funny, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's hilarious.
Do you have any funny stories that he did or something?
No, nothing like personal. Just if you just watch him, like as a person, he's so upbeat and positive, but he's just hilarious. Like we had a game this year where he had an interception in the middle of the game, obviously, and in the middle of the interception, he's like
Yeah, he started,
celebrating
like-
before he went out.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious.
When you have a really good punt, do you ever have like a celebration dance?
No, I'm not much of a celebration guy.
You should. It'd be funny if you
What do you
just
think I should do?
hitting the gritty. If you just had like a crazy punt, you just start hitting the gritty.
No, Josh, I can't do that.
That would be the funniest thing ever.
Josh, what do you do? Do you have a touchdown dance?
Yeah, I sometimes change it up though. I just go with what the TikTok trends are, kind of.
Yeah. So what do you do?
Like earlier in the season, there was a popular one. It was like left, right, like CJ Stroud did it, and a lot of them did it. So I kind of did that, and now there's not. I don't really have one right now, but
What's the one where it looks like you're like levitating in midair?
oh, the slick back. And Ross St. Brown did it. I
Yeah.
can't do it. I always
That
try to do
one's
it.
cool. I tried
I'm
to do it
not
in
doing it.
practice. I couldn't do it either.
It's so like if I do it, it's so embarrassing. I'm not doing.
Yeah, I mean, Josh,
yeah.
listen, that's why I don't dance after I punt, 'cause it's embarrassing.
Yeah, you should try
Yeah.
the slick back.
Yeah, I should run off the field and do the slick back. That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
it's so. And you know when you guys score most of the time, the players on the kickoff team do a dance behind you when you're putting the ball on about to start kicking. Like, what do you think when they do that?
I try to make it look like I'm busy doing something with the ball or the tee or something, so I don't have to like interact with the dancing. I think it's awesome.
I think you should
love it.
I think you should do the dance with them next year.
I should, but like we were saying, it's embarrassing. I'm not much of a dancer, Josh, but I think it's really cool. I like it.
What was your favorite college moment?
My favorite college moment. So like we were really bad in college. Like we won like 4 or 5 games, might be the most we won in a season, but
Yeah.
it was cool. We played in Australia. My
that's
junior
cool.
year. Yeah, the first game of the year we went to Australia and played a game there, and we were there for a week, and it was really cool.
Who is your most famous contact you have?
My most famous contact. I don't know, Jared Goff, I guess.
Beside the Lions, who's your favorite sports team?
That's an easy one. The St. Louis Cardinals baseball team.
You like baseball?
Yeah, I'm a big Cardinal fan.
I'm a big baseball fan too.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you
I like
Tigers
the
fans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite sports team other than the Lions is probably Michigan, but yeah, I like Tigers a lot.
Yeah.
I play center field and I'm a lefty, so it's kind of harder for me to play in the infield, but I play center field a lot.
That's awesome. I played outfield when I was a kid.
So now college offers and recruiting. Other than Rice, did you get any offers?
No, Rice was my only offer, and they offered me probably like a week before signing day my senior year. So I had one offer, and it came really late.
Did you get nervous before that, like you weren't going to get any?
Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing, like the recruiting process is stressful, especially for like a kicker or punter. Like there's not always as many offers for us. And I was a little bit stressed, but if I wouldn't have gotten an offer, I probably would have walked on somewhere.
Can you describe like how the NFL draft was, like how it felt kind of?
Yeah, I didn't get drafted. I thought there might be a chance, like an outside chance, that I'd be like a 6th or 7th round pick, but like I wasn't like really relying on that. I knew I'd probably go undrafted, but it was cool. We had a little draft party at my parents' house. We had a bunch of my buddies over.
Yeah, but I think it ended up being fine now because you're in a good position. You're on the Lions and you're a great punter, so.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It ended up working out. But I signed right after the draft and we still celebrated and it was fun.
Can you describe like a day in a life as a punter and like how practice is?
Yeah, a day in the life of a punter. There's a lot of waiting around. Like when we go to like a day of work in the season, we're there all day. We're there from like 7:30 to 5, like basically normal 8 to 5 job. But we're just waiting around a lot. The other positions meet, like the offense and defense meet and talk about the game plan and all that stuff. We don't meet quite as much.
Yeah, so you guys just kind of practice and stuff.
We hang out in the locker room. We play a lot of
Who do you hang
pool.
out most with?
Well, so the specialists, the long snapper and the punter and kicker are all in the locker room. We're all just hanging out, playing pool, trying to stay busy.
You think you could beat me in pool?
Yeah, Josh, I could beat you in pool left-handed.
I've gotten really good over this summer.
All right, we'll play pool, but
I think I'll beat you.
Okay. Yeah, put your dad's money where your mouth is.
Okay. A few games ago, you made a diving tackle. What were you thinking when you were about to go in for that tackle?
I was just so mad that I hit like not a great punt, and anytime they return a punt that far, it's like bad for us.
Yeah.
So I was just mad going in there, and I probably ran in there a little bit too fast, and I'm not a good tackler, so I just like put my hand out.
It looks good.
I like grabbed his ankle and fell on.
Yeah. What's the dumbest way you've hurt yourself before in sports?
The dumbest way I've hurt myself. Last year I broke my finger. I dove and tried to make a tackle, and I just completely missed, and I jammed my hand in the ground. And I broke my finger. That was really dumb. That's probably the dumbest. What about you? Have you hurt yourself?
Yeah, I would say the dumbest way, though? Like, I bet I've done, like, dumb things playing sports, and then I just hurt myself. But, like in football at recess once, we were playing football, and I ran into the soccer net on a pass. But I didn't get really that bad of hurt, but still.
That's still dumb.
Yeah. And then, like, a few more. What's one sports thing you can't live without?
One sports thing that I can't live without would be, well, I'll tell you what, when we're not playing, say we play a Thursday night or a Monday night game and I can watch football on Sunday, NFL Red Zone is something that, like, I can't live without.
Yeah.
Now that
we got
have
that
it,
subscription this year.
Yeah, we're so spoiled as fans. Like, you can just watch football for like 5 hours without a commercial, and you don't have to watch any of the like downtime of a football game. It's the best.
Do you ever, like, if you guys have an earlier game and there's night games and you're playing that team, do you kind of study them ever, or no? You kind of just...
I watch the game just because I'm a football fan, but I don't like really. I wouldn't call it studying as much as just watching the game.
Yeah. As a punter, you're number 3. Did you choose your number, or like was it like kind of they chose for you or gave you options?
Yeah, so when I got to the Lions in 2019 at the end of the year, and I was on practice squad for the last like 5 weeks. And when I got there, the equipment guy was like, we have number 3 or number 4, so you can choose. And the punter that was there before me on practice squad, he got released, but he was number 4. So I was like, I don't want people to confuse me with him. So I picked number 3. So I got lucky. I love the number. It worked out.
Can you explain why you got this haircut? Was it you wanted like a change, or like what were your thoughts on this haircut? Like what?
Yeah, so I didn't get a haircut all season. I got one right before training camp in July, and then I didn't touch it until, I don't know, a week ago. And like midway through the year, I didn't plan on doing that. Midway through the year, I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to get a haircut all season. And then I wanted to get a haircut a couple weeks later after I said that, but I was like,
It looks good. You got the flow going in the back.
It did look kind of cool. Thank you. And yeah, I told myself I wasn't going to cut it, so I didn't cut it. But
Yeah.
then by the end of the year, I was so tired of having long hair. I'm like, I'm going to get a buzz cut when I'm done with this. So I did.
Thank you, Jack. That is it with the Detroit Lions punter, Jack Fox, unless you have anything else to say.
No, Josh, that was great. You did a great job. I appreciate you having me.
I appreciate this, Jack, for coming out to my podcast. Thank you. We will have another guest soon on the show. Make sure to follow and feel free to take your favorite clips and post it to social media. We out.